Hi, my name is Rebecca Lee, and I co-wrote this book, The Mercury Detoxification Manual, with Andy Cutler, PhD, who should have got a Nobel Prize for what he figured out. The information in this book can get you out of a lifetime of chronic illness and suffering. So if you have been wandering around in the wilderness without getting any better, you owe it to yourself and everybody who loves you to take a look at this information. In my last video, I talked about the two sections in amalgam illness. That's this first book that Andy wrote, Amalgam Illness, Diagnosis and Treatment. Anyway, the first two sections were day-to-day practicality and how to keep your life together during treatment. I think I didn't give enough an emphasis to this last section. I was a bit out of it because I think I got COVID and I'm still coughing from the damn thing. That part has some serious points in it. That part, how to keep yourself together during treatment. Some people think that chelating is going to make them a whole lot worse. Not really. You are already dealing with all the things that can cause, or you wouldn't be here listening to me. So the advice in how to keep your life together is good advice for you at any stage of this game. Yes, you're going to be moving Mercury around and you may feel worse before you start feeling better. But your health situation is probably already a lot of ups and downs. If you start chelating, you will gradually start having more and more up days than down days. And remember, with this protocol, you control what level you chelate at. Nevertheless, plan and expect detoxing mercury or whatever other metals you may have got to take a long time with a lot of frustration and delays. Detoxing is not linear. I mean, it is linear in that you are on a straight path to getting well, but there are all kinds of twists and turns along the way. Sometimes you will feel way better and sometimes you will feel horrible, but you are probably experiencing that already. At least with detoxing, you start having more and more good days and fewer bad ones. There will be long periods of time when you just won't be able to get much done. I'm pretty sure you're already dealing with that. At least now you are pointed in the right direction and every round puts you a little bit ahead. But be realistic. You don't have as much time in your day as a person who is not sick. So don't take anything new. Do the absolute essential and ignore the rest. Accept the fact that you have been poisoned and it's going to take a while to get your health back. Keep a to-do list. Cross things off when you get them done. Then start a new list. If you can't make up your mind what to do next, flip a coin. If you're not sure if you need to do something, err on the side of not doing it. Keep logs, keep diaries. These are really, really helpful when you are looking back and trying to figure things out. They are also useful to keep track of symptoms that have disappeared. People forget bad stuff really fast. And in this game, you need all the positive reinforcement and encouragement you can get. Andy liked those big desk calendars, although nowadays I guess most people do stuff on their phone. But write everything down, all of your appointments and so forth. Otherwise, you will forget and get screwed up. I still have to write everything down. Get your friends and family to help you. Ask them to read the list of symptoms over and over again. That way they will start to understand what you're dealing with. Get them to help you with deadlines and tasks. Simplify your life as best you can. Avoid stress. Arrange your finances so they are easy. I put all my bills on automatic payment, for instance. Every time you get something important done, do something nice for yourself. I particularly like that piece of advice. And when I get done with this video, I'm going to go read a fantasy novel for a while. One piece of advice Andy gives here is really important. Be particularly aware of emotional symptoms, he tells us, in order to, quote, circumvent them intellectually when they start to get out of control. You are poisoned, he tells us. You are not crazy. Sometimes you might act crazy until the mercury is gone. And when it is gone, you might need time to cope with all the emotional baggage it left behind. Chronic illness is like a war being fought inside your body, he tells us. After the soldiers are gone, it takes a lifetime to clean things up, and they may never be perfectly right again. When you do get detoxed, you may still need to do talk therapy or something like that to sort out all the habits that got set into place while you were sick. This is what Andy has to say about doctors. Get a new attitude towards physicians. They are body mechanics, not godlike beings. No single one of them knows enough to get you well. Don't experiment excessively with diet and supplements, and don't let your doctor do that either. If they do testing and dosing adjustments on one thing more than 3 times, just lay down the law and tell them what you are going to do. You can't get things adjusted perfectly, as things change all the time. You are trying to find things that will help you feel better as you move ahead with chelation. You are not trying to solve all your problems with diet and supplements. Diet and supplements aren't able to do that because you have mercury poisoning. Don't think you have to find a doctor who thinks he knows exactly what to do either. There is no such beast. Don't bother with doctors who don't want to help, even if that is their job. Ultimately, what is set in stone is your chelation schedule. You find out a good level of chelator for you, and you stick with that relentlessly and implacably for a long time. Your goal is to churn out as many rounds as you can in a year. How high a dose you take is not as important as how many rounds you can get in. It is important to follow the half-life schedule of the chelators and the minimum number of hours for a round. That you must do religiously and without deviation. If you forget a supplement once in a while, it's not going to set you back inordinately, but when you screw up chelation round, you will feel it. Don't procrastinate. Procrastination is a big mercury symptom. Get going and chelate. No, it is not going to make you a whole lot worse than you are already. What is great is you set the level you want to chelate at yourself. You've got this. You already have loads of experience dealing with mercury crap. Now you have a path out of all this mess. The path is up and down, backwards and sideways, but nevertheless, the main direction is forward, away from being chronically ill and mad as a hatter. So thank you for listening, and I hope this is helpful. So please like and share and do all those good things. Wouldn't it be nice if this information got out there more? There are a whole lot of poor, sick people out there who are just wandering in the wilderness with no idea what to do. Let's send a little information their way.